Thank you so much, sir, for the warm welcome. So, ladies and gentlemen, the dignitary is over here. Thank you for inviting me. I've not heard much about impact until sir had actually called me up. So, went through this particular background in the website, and I just realized that there are institutes who's providing such services, which generally you don't find anywhere. And I think you're the lucky set of people, about 3,000 plus people who have benefited, which is one of the best things I think. So I thought I'll just give you some small story. Everybody would like to hear some story?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you heard about this Japanese fish story? Okay, 1, 2. Anybody else?
Yes, ma'am.
Others would like to hear?
Yes, we like to hear.
Okay. So, Japanese is a country where they would love to eat fresh fish. Okay, and they feed themselves every day, a day in and out. They cannot survive with fish. Have you heard they are the longest surviving human beings?
Yes.
And that's because of some specific fish that they eat. There's a lot of research gone into their studies saying about it. So what did they do? The water in Japan did not really fetch fishes which was close to the shore. So what did they do? The fishermen had to go long drive into the sea in order to get the fish. So the longer they had to go into the sea, it took longer for them to get back the fish to the shore. Am I right?
Yes.
But then what happened? The Japanese people would like to eat fresh fish, not the stale fish.
It takes more time.
Exactly, because they're going longer, they're going farther into the sea. And then what happened was when they brought the fish back into the shore, it became stale and they could not sell the fish in the market. It became a big crisis. Population definitely wanted the fish, but that did not happen. And then they had to think about another strategy, what to do now. What do you think that they would have, people who know the story don't speak out. I think 2 of you probably know that. What do you think could have been the next strategy that they would have done? They want the fresh fish. They have to feed the population. What next they would have thought about? I didn't get that, ma'am.
Make the fish as a curry.
Curry, fish curry, okay. That's one thing. Okay, what else? How do we ensure that, they get fresh fish? Any guesses? Just throw something.
Cultivate nurseries.
Cultivate this one, yes. They kept the freezer. They planned for a freezer inside the freezer into the boat, and they said now let's go longer because we have kept the freezer into the boats, and then they went. Now they thought that okay, freezer is there in place, let's go farther and farther. But what happened when they came back? It became frozen fishes. The Japanese people felt that they could identify frozen fish versus a fresh fish. Now again they said no, they still want the fresh fish. Then finally again the market had to go through another strategy. How do I win the people now? Now the next option what they had was they started creating a tank inside the boat, water tank. Okay, so that they can have the fish live into the tank. So fin to fin the fishes were picked up, put into the fish tank, and they ensured that the fishes are live, and so many fishes into the fish tank, and they brought into the shore. Now do you think that the people would have liked it?
No, because the
Water changed? What else? Too many fishes, what will happen with less now? The size will not be too large like an ocean. It becomes very difficult for the fishes to move. It has hardly space to go. It became more sluggish. In the sense, it became more dull. The fishes had no energy. So still there was a concern as to, what do we do now? The fish seems to be not active, it is not strong as what they want, and it is never fresh. And then finally what did they do? Any guesses? That's a final strategy. What do you think they would have done? No, the one only you both are supposed to speak.
You can collect seed from that mother fish and cultivate it.
Okay, that could be one approach. Now they're getting into the, that's a vast population that they have to feed. And they are into the sea. They have to go to the sea and get a fresh fish. They try different styles. Huh?
Artificial backwater process.
Okay. All these are well and good, but what they tried was they put a shark into the tank. Okay, so what did they do? They put a small shark into the fish tank. Now what will happen? It will obviously, the shark will eat couple of fishes, not that the entire fish. But to keep it alive, the fishes will start swimming very fast and swift. It has to keep itself alive, right? So that was one strategy which changed and ensured the fishes were fresh to bring to the shore for the population of Japanese people. See, this is the story about it. Now let's understand what is the, okay, now what's the learning here? There's a lot of learning here. See, unlike our times where, while I came into my education process, yes, my dad told me to do this, I did this. My dad asked me to do that, okay, I did that. And after one particular phase, we really understand, okay, this is my career path and this is how I will go. But basically, we have been guided very well. But I can see a pool of people here. You have decided and come for this course, correct?
Yes.
I don't think anybody would have forced you to come over here. And trust me, teaching is one of the best and noble profession that you can have. Okay, there is nothing as much as you see a change in people which brings a lot of immense satisfaction for a trainer. If you ask me, I would prefer my retired life to be as a trainer rather than anybody else, Be a teacher or whatever, but trainer is one of the best method I'll say. Because you train, you see a small change, it brings an immense happiness. I don't think no other profession can bring that kind of change. Okay? So what is the learning here? What is the biggest learning here?
Step by step they improve their knowledge.
Yes. They ensure they can reach the target. They change their strategy in order to achieve it. Yes. What else?
Once that touch the bigger platform, we have to swim all around.
Exactly. It's a larger vision in play in mind, so that they reach out.
They
Yes.
did not shift their goal. They wanted to eat a fresh fish.
That was the-
goal is fish.
Yes. The goal is the fresh fish. Yeah. The vision has been fixed, and now the mission was
That is why they
exercised.
kept trying. Different efforts were put because the goal post is not changed.
Correct.
That is sir.
Exactly. So if you see challenges, life without challenges, you know what happens. I'm sure that there are immense courses available in internet. You just need to, our Google uncle, you just ask anything in the world, he will tell you. You just need to type it. And now with artificial intelligence, don't even ask, even a doll will start speaking. I do not know what the world is in store for us, okay, tomorrow, but the fact remains that, there is immense courses. But what is that we can give back is about what is that you learn? How is that you can execute back? As rightly Sir was saying that, you're going to go back to the government schools. Schools, I know children. See, I have my little naughty one there. So, it is not easy to get the attention, of every child. So in order to get that, you have to be very, very creative. I'm sure I can see I was just observing the, tables with chart papers and all that. So I'm sure making learning fun is something very, very important than, just talking the theory, but make it more fun for the people to understand, which I'm sure this 25 days must have imparted you with such kind of knowledge. And keep challenging yourself. Unless and until you're challenged, you will not develop and move ahead. And there must be challenges in life. If there is a challenge, I'm sure you look for different strategies. How do I win? Because all the fingers are not the same, and that's exactly going to be any market you go or any segment that you would want to do. You will find all kinds of people, and you need to find different strategy when you attack. You go to metro city or metropolitan city, then it is a different approach. You go to a village, it has to be a completely different approach. So the pacing of people is something very, very important. With that note, Wishing you all the very best, and please keep taking up challenges, and that is one thing which will drive you forward. Thank you.